Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries, aka Rita, and that's Aaron. Today we'll be doing a review on the Turrent Puro Corojo. Is this, this was the 6x60.
Yes, this is the 6x60.
Yes.
One of the things I noticed was, like the punch signature, which we did earlier today already, this had a very nice, rich, musky and loamy smell to the wrapper, and it had a very similar feeling in the fact that I just really loved the smell of this. And again, I wish I could just find an incense to make my room smell like it. The initial puffs reminded me of black salt, especially on the lips. Now, if you've never had used black salt, it's got a very peculiar taste to it that's nothing like salt whatsoever.
Never heard of black salt.
You've had some, though. It's usually used in Indian cooking and oftentimes along with fruit. In fact, you had it with the fruit chop that we had the one day.
We're not good with it.
No, you ate some of it. It's that thing that had the bananas in it and stuff, and it was kind of salty.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, so my initial smell, I was picking up hay earth cocoa, or dark cocoa, I should say, light vanilla, and it was just a great smell. You could just sit there and smell all day and not give a care in the world. It just had a great aroma to it if you were, smelling it.
So, for the first third of this, it was mostly woodsy and earthy with some hints of barley. And I also noticed that a little later on in the first third that there was a little tiny bit of leather that came into it too.
My first third was simple. First thing I picked up in that cigar, the Puro Corojo, was licorice. I mean, I picked up hints of licorice. The second one I picked up, and I will explain this since I'm trying to do full reviews like Aaron is, I picked up like fresh mint, just because I smoked the Java mint, I just picked up that hidden taste of mint, followed by pistachios and pralines, and that is something that was amazing for my first third in the cigar.
For the second half of this, or the midway point, I noticed that it was still very woodsy, very earthy, with still the hints of barley and leather to it. And there was also some little bit of pepper that worked its way in. By the way, that black salt flavor never came back after the first puff or two. So one thing I've noticed about the Turrents is the very first puff seems to taste totally different from the rest of the cigar. Your midway point.
Changed full direction. I was picking up maltiness, more mintiness, like a light mint chocolate, followed by hops and barleys. And yes, I just want to say to you reviewers out there, when I've tried so many cigars that I have, I don't sit there and watch many cigar reviews online to see what others say. Because
I never do.
And because that bothers me. But
I have a few times, and that's usually because she is.
However, I want to say, for the record, some of these cigars, all the flavors are different. I call it a flavor bomb because there's just so many flavors that go to the palate. But yes, I pick up a lot of cigars of earthiness, maltiness, peatiness, etc., etc. in previous videos.
When I buy cigars, I look at them as being like a Christmas present. I don't know what I'm getting. I know it's a cigar, I know the brand of the cigar, and I know essentially the look of the cigar. But when I get it, the box is unique, the cigars themselves are unique, the odors coming out of the box are unique, the way that they smoke is unique. And so I don't like to get an idea too often about cigars that I'm going to buy. Now, if I was going to buy an expensive cigar, I might watch a few reviews to see if it might be worth my time. That's why I do these videos. If it's expensive, is it worth my time? Is it limited edition, or is it being canceled out right now, and is it worth my time to go ahead and go get this smoke. So yeah, some with the more expensive ones I will. Rita tends to watch more videos than I do on the reviews. I do sometimes watch those of friends of mine on YouTube to try to keep up with their channels as well, and to give me some ideas of something I may wish to try. But anyways, getting into the final third here.
I never did my second third.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said malty, minty, hops, and barley.
Yes, you did.
The second one, yeah, well, I'm fine.
Somehow you're skipping around.
Yeah,
you got weird points all over.
And then, alright, let me put it this way. My second third, as I said, was minty and malty, and then I was explaining why I pick up maltiness, because a lot of my cigars I do
well,
pick up
you
malt.
started talking
Then
about not watching others'
then
videos.
Then, I changed. Then there's the vanilla and honey flavor in this cigar, and it's like a medium taste to both, and they complement each other.
So, can we move on to the final third?
Yes.
Okay, in the final third, I am going to end up saying that this tasted very much like the punch in the licoricey department. But it was also very peppery and leathery, but the pepper was very nice. It was kind of a sweet pepper. It wasn't unpleasant or too powerful. It's not enough that I call it a pepper bomb, because this was some of the most pleasant tasting peppery notes I've ever noticed. It was just very nicely blended, the flavors together, to be so enjoyable. And even though this was a 6x60 and took between an hour and 40 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes for me to smoke, every time I finished one of these, which has been like 8 of them now or something, 6 to 8, I keep sitting there saying, I want more. So I could actually see smoking like a 10x60 of this, or 7x70 or something like that. Just a very, very pleasing smoke, and it's one of few that has ever left me with that feeling of, I want more.
Well, for the third and final area, I want to say I was picking up, yes, hints of mint as usual, but then it changed over to peppermint. Then through it, it also combined with spearmint, followed by licorice. And I'm just saying it's not a licorice bomb, but the licorice was there. I do want to say for my notes, the smoke, it made lots and lots of smoke. The ash was thick gray ash, and the finish was purely licorice. It was a sweet cigar, not too heavy, but not too light, just perfect. And the burn was purely evenly. I give this cigar, out of my own rating, about a 96. No offense.
I would give it a 96 also, just because the flavors are very well blended. They do stay fairly consistent, but they taste well enough that I could finish smoking this, I want another one. And so I can't see any other thing than to recommend this very highly. A Turrent Puro Corojo in my book is a winner.
Exactly. Completely a winner. I recommend, before they run out for places, that you can pick up a box at Cigar or Holtz or Cigar International. I think it's cigar.com that was charging $100 a box.
Yeah, $148 a box. The place we went through, though, they were about $50 a box, and I don't know anybody else who's got them besides those two places. So if you do decide to go ahead and get these, I would recommend the longer shapes, because of the fact that you will want more. At least I wanted more.
I'm planning to look into getting another box of this next month, so there's my review on it. It's one of those that it's affordable, but at the same time, it keeps you happy and content.
Alright, well.
So, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, and smoke them if you got them.